Hey guys, thanks to everyone that checked out my video on the 1989 BC Rich Gunslinger restoration. Now I know that some of you are waiting to see what guitar I'm going to do next, and I promise you I've got another one coming soon. I'm going to do a whole bunch of videos on all my 80s guitars, and the next one up is going to be really, really rad. You're really going to dig it. Before we get to that, I've got a mystery box. Something just showed up today. Now, I haven't opened it yet. We're going to do an unboxing video. I hear all the kids like that crap. And I don't know if it survived intact or what. So my reaction will be genuine. Hopefully the headstock didn't snap off. Obviously it's a guitar. So let's get this bad boy open and see what the heck we have in here. Alrighty. Yes, I live near an airport. Woo. Okay. Oh. All right. See, this SKB case has locks on it. I hope it's not actually locked. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, now, if you haven't figured out by now, it's definitely going to be something from the 80s. And it's something I've never even tried before. I've never tried one of this, a guitar from this brand, but I've long been curious about them. And what we have here, what we have here, 1988 Kramer Stagemaster Deluxe II. Now, why am I doing a video on this? Well, aside from the fact that, you know, it's just a cool unboxing video, it is going to need a lot of work. Don't be fooled by how it might look in the sunlight up here on the roof here in New York City. This thing has some serious issues. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a bad crack right in the top. It might not be visible. I might have to do a photo overlay. And it's missing some of the pickups. It doesn't have the original parts. It just basically needs to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb. But as they say on Good Bones, it's got good bones. It's a 1988. I already checked the serial number from the listing online. And this thing's an interesting one. This thing was, I got it off Reverb, and it had recently had a massive price drop. And I just couldn't resist when I saw that. It had been listed for a year. And prior to that, the guy that I bought it from on Reverb had bought it from somebody else on Reverb and had been listed for a long time as well. I don't know why they haven't held on to it. I don't know, like maybe they thought they were gonna repair it and just decided they just didn't really want to deal with the project. But this is an absolutely perfect candidate for me to give the full Tommy treatment to. It is an 80s Super Strat. It is the second generation of the Stagemaster, and it's the flat top version, which I kind of think I prefer over the carved top, the arch top, because this one's more, I think, it would allow for cooler graphics. I think it would just look cooler to me. It would seem more like a proper Super Strat with a flat top. The way that this is gonna have to be done is, in addition to getting a refinish, the whole thing is gonna have to get a cap, like a thin veneer on the top, to repair the crack, make sure that's all gone. Cool thing about this thing is it's a neck through Super Strat. So if you look at the upper fret access there, it's just insane. And it's probably gonna feel a bit like my BC Riches do, with the exception of this one is a 25.5-inch scale. Now that's something that had me kind of hesitant to mess with a lot of Super Strats because I'm so used to 24 3/4 or 24 5/8, which sometimes BC Rich uses. The Gibsons are all 24 3/4. So it wasn't just the upper fret axis that had me hesitant with Super Strat. It was also the neck scale. But when I did the Gunslinger, the 89 Gunslinger, I just fell in love with the damn thing. I mean, it's just a fantastic guitar. And I finally, for the first time, totally get the Super Strat thing. I really do. I understand why so many rock and metal and shred guys in the 80s were using these things. But the lion's share of Super Strats out there still have a total deal killer for me, and that is the humongous neck heel, because they're bolt neck guitars. Now, the 89 Gunslinger, all the Gunslingers from 87 to 89 don't have that issue quite as bad, because they actually have an angled neck heel, which allows for just enough upper fret access that I shut up and stop being a baby. But as far as all the Charvels, all the Kramers, as cool as they are, especially all the ones with the crazy custom graphics, the neck heel is just basically as big as a Strat, and I can't do it. So then I discovered the Stagemasters, which I guess I had known about a couple years ago, and then kind of just dismissed them and moved on because of the neck scale. But they're neck through. I think the first generation might be set neck from the way the neck heels look like on that, but the second generation, which I believe launched in 87 and ran up until the company went out of business a couple years later, they're neck through. You can actually see, you might not be able to see it in the video, but here in the sunlight, you can actually totally see the lines of the neck going straight on through. So it's just like a BC Rich with body wing on each side and just absolutely nothing in the way. So I was like, all right, I gotta do it. This would basically be as close as I'm gonna get to finding a neck through Gunslinger, which they did make some of, but very, very, very few. So this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. What I think I'm gonna do, before I tear it all apart and go for the refinish and the repairs, I'm gonna actually just get this thing into proper working order, experiment with parts, experiment with pickups, see what I think about this Floyd. It should be an original Floyd. It should be a real one. It says Floyd Rose right on there. I'm gonna have to look into what's on this thing, all the parts. It's got genuine West German Schaller tuners on there. Normally I like putting the locking M6s, but these are the real deal West German ones, and they are in great shape, so I'm probably gonna leave those alone, and I wouldn't really need the locking tuners anyway because it's got a locking nut, so it's, you know, it's redundancy. But the other issue is I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as the refinish goes. Normally when I do these guitars, and I'm gonna be doing videos on all of my guitars, there's a lot of really rad videos coming that are gonna be just as in-depth as the Gunslinger was. Normally when I do these, before it even shows up, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what the repairs are gonna consist of. I know if it's gonna get refinished, to what extent, what color it's gonna be, if I'm gonna go with any graphics. I've got everything, like a whole roadmap planned out. This one, I just knew I had to have this guitar, and it was a perfect candidate for what I like to do with these 80s axes. I have no idea what I'm going to do though. I don't know what color it's gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna go with any custom graphics. If I do, what kind of custom graphics? I mean, there's so many options. I could go with just some kind of abstract 80s colors. I can go with zebra stripes. I could go with a Nagel graphic, which I love, but I believe that's a Jackson and a BC Rich Gunslinger thing. I don't know if any of the Kramers came with it, so it would be a little strange, but you know, then I guess the counter to that is who cares? Just any number of directions I can go with this thing, and it's gonna be really rad to see how it turns out. This neck feels fantastic, super thin. I mean, just absolutely no restrictions to getting up here. So this is gonna be a really, really killer axe when I get done with it. But right now, I don't know what it's going to be when I'm done with it. So your guess is as good as mine. I can't predict it. I genuinely have no idea. Eventually, I'm going to do a full video on this. Well, I'll repeat some of the stuff I've already gone over, and it's gonna go over the whole process of the restoration, fixing this crack, doing the veneer on top, the refinish. And right now, I just have absolutely no clue what it's going to end up being when I'm all done. So it's kind of exciting, and look for that. Not anytime soon. Lots of other guitar videos coming first. Don't expect to hear about this one again for months and months and months. I've got some really big decisions I gotta make. But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you dig it when it's all finished. All right, later.